My name is Justin Varilek. I'm the original founder of HackPack, and I've been growing basically HackPack since about 2014. It's been a long journey from where we started in the US, seeing the problem overseas, and then developing to help resolve and assist journalists and freelancers around the world. I originally come from a journalism background. I worked as a journalist for the Moscow Times, and then I moved into communications and marketing for an IT company as well as a university that I helped found. And during that process, I saw a lot of the issues that were happening on the ground during the Ukrainian conflict and how many of my friends and my colleagues were having difficulties finding and evaluating quality freelancers as well as fixers to understand who's the best person to work with on a specific job. And we thought there must be a better way. There must be a better way for freelancers, journalists to find and collaborate with each other and prove how everything is working. And so we developed it mostly off of the very beginning, a social media platform similar to a Moscow HackPack, which is a Facebook group that we use most of the time. It was a great resource to be able to connect with people, answer different problems, as well as share jobs and grants. But it didn't really fully resolve all of the issues that we saw, specifically with evaluating people, as well as for the freelancer knowing that it can trust that they'll be paid and looked after regardless of what happens as the client comes and flies in to their specific location. And so we started developing from that specific standpoint of thinking about a social media platform to connect the entire media industry, as well as a marketplace similar to Airbnb, where you have an entire record and information of someone, the references, the connections, what specific projects they'd worked on previously, and that way it's a lot easier as time goes by to work with each other and know who's actually quality enough that you would want to work with. And so we moved on to that phase, and we realized that within the journalism space, there wasn't enough jobs and opportunities coming in directly for a lot of journalists, as well as there wasn't really enough money for them to be managing a platform like this. And so we started expanding it out to additional sections of the market that also really benefit from working with journalists around the world. Specifically, we focused on journalism and then expanded to marketing. And then we stand also to due diligence. This way we could basically bring in clients who are looking to do an interview with their internal stakeholders for general marketing purposes, and they need someone who can do a good quality interview as well as film it, or due diligence, they're wanting to do a background check on a company to verify that there's no corruption involved, something that's very similar to skills for investigative journalists. And that's really where we started growing beyond that. And we focused foremost on being a production agency to really use the platform ourselves, understand what the needs are from the client side as well as the freelancers, and ensure that we truly see and understand what's going on. And within that, we were able to grow the production side to be able to help bring about an average of $30,000 to $40,000 of projects into freelancers every month. And that really helped demonstrate to us a lot of the difficulties on making sure that the freelancer had insurance in case some issue came up, being able to quickly find someone and get access to them, evaluate them, how responsible they are, how quality they are, and finally also being able to get them paid quickly and easily. And a lot of clients have this specific main problem. And so we moved on beyond that, and we've worked with publications such as BBC, ZDF in Germany, Al Jazeera. We've worked with the Danish broadcasters. Worked with the Danish broadcasters actually on a drone shoot in the US for the recent investigative report that came out by IJIF. And we've done more with Pair Video and quite a few others. And so based upon that, we've then spent the last year and a half redeveloping HackPack based upon the needs and issues that we saw most clients had, as well as feedback that we got from the freelancers, a lot of you who've been on the platform and using the platform, as well as lessons that we ourselves had learned about the issues with the platform previously and where it was going to go. And so today, I'm very excited that this year and a half has ended. We've actually gotten to the final result of a never-ending evolution. So not the final result, but the current end of this step. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see what exactly it is I'm talking about. So what we've done with this past year and a half is develop, again, a focus on social media that's very simple for everyone to really understand and actually resolves a lot of the issues that people have. So anyone can go ahead and register onto the platform as a freelancer and has access. They have access specifically to a feed very similar to the previous one that we had on HackPack, where people can go and create posts, either grants, fellowships, jobs, events that are going on, and promote them. It has a much more clean, aesthetic look to it. Helps to be able to promote events or fellowships that you may have going on and make sure that the right people are able to find out about them. You yourself as a freelancer can promote work you've done. So one project that we've done recently has been, check. Sorry, just check, see if someone mentioned something. Okay. Members can go ahead and promote themselves. So you can go ahead and post a link of a great project you did. This is one from a project we did in Moscow when we interviewed Snowden. And then you're able to focus it either just on the connections, like every other social media around the world. Similar to Twitter, your connections will be able to see that specific post, or you're able to expand the reach of the post to specific skills and expertise of a member. So if you have an event, if you have a grant and fellowship, or you just want to promote a project, let's say, to producers around the world who might be also interesting in something you did, you can simply focus it on producers. Maybe it's only interesting in the English audience because you only speak English yourself, and then you're able to see exactly how many people will actually see that potentially in their feed, and you can go and publish it directly and check out what exactly it will look like. So you can see very nice, clean, simple, clear image to help promote yourself. This is all free for freelancers to be able to come on, promote themselves, interact with each other, promote things that they've done. The only cost is if they want to, or an NGO, or a journalism organization, university that's trying to promote an event or a grant or fellowship, they would have to pay for, if they want to send out an alert, which means immediately it sends it to members' emails and phone numbers, or they would have to also pay for, one sec.
Sorry to interrupt, Justin, but
please.
We're not seeing anything.
Oh, you're not? Ah,
sorry.
No, that's good. Glad you said something. That definitely makes sense. Okay, now can you see?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Guga. Appreciate that. So everything that I just said, I'll walk over again really quickly so you can see the same thing that I'm looking at. So this is the new HackPack itself, where you have a social media feed, much simpler and cleaner, where you have the ability to review and see posts from other members, whether that be simply them asking for advice and suggestions, whether or not they're promoting an event or a grant or competition. You can go ahead and check it out and see it based upon your personal profile information. You're able to like them. You're able to leave a comment on it if you would like. If I can spell. You can go ahead and view it, or you can share it as well with other people, and you copy the link and share it in different places so your friends can have access to it, can learn about that specific interesting post in of itself. As I mentioned, you can go ahead and create a post. So if you want to promote yourself, a project you're working on, a story pitch in your area to get members aware of it, you can simply go here. So here's a second one that we did as well in Berlin when we needed to find a journalist who spoke Arabic to do an interview around the Syrian war. Again, you can go ahead. It automatically sends to your connections. If you do not have connections, or if you want to expand beyond that, you're able to reach a larger number of members here by selecting on a role. You can identify if you want journalists to see it or if you want to focus around editors or fixers or someone who's specifically interested in your topic. You can also identify the language. Let's say if you're looking for English, and then you're able to see exactly how many English fixers this would appear in, and then you're able to publish. And members can go ahead and see that in a much more clear way. Obviously, you'd probably want to write text explaining what the heck it is about. But this way, you're able to promote yourselves better, engage and cooperate with each other much better. And that's all free. The only paid portion is if an organization or you want to go ahead and promote this either in our newsletter or with an SMS or email alert that goes immediately out to members to make sure that they're seeing it immediately. Probably more useful for events, grants and fellowships, or competitions that someone is putting on. So this is great for general interaction with each other, that members can go ahead and like, comment, and talk with each other, or share a specific post, copy the link and send it to someone. If you're looking for advice, just simply networking or promoting yourself. And beyond that, there's also the entire second side, which is more for clients. This is a social media portion that we've set up. You can go ahead and connect with people, find people, and engage with them in all sorts of ways. Beyond that, there's also the marketplace section, which allows the freelancer to be able to better connect with clients. We resolve a lot of the payment issues. We help provide insurance for you so that in the field, if something happens, you're covered, and centralize a lot of issues for the clients themselves. So essentially, if a client's looking for someone, they can simply go ahead and hire via HackPack. This allows them to go ahead and have access to indicate price. If they know clear price on the project, a deliverable or a deadline that they may have. If they don't have a clear one, they don't need to indicate that. They can again send to just their connections, or they can send only to people outside their connections as well, or they can send to both if you want to. So we recently had a request for a fixer producer in Madrid to help us with a specific project that we were working on. Let me find a producer. And then you simply indicate the location that you're looking for. And you can see how many people will receive that, 25 there. You can give it to your connections if you think that they'll help expand and push it out further. Or you can get rid of your connections and not bother them. You can say fixing job in Madrid next week. And then lots of details. Won't bother you. After that, you simply publish it, and it'll be reviewed, and then we'll go ahead and send it out as an SMS alert for subscribed clients. So the way that we're working right now for clients, and after that, essentially in the Find Opportunities section, members can go ahead and see posts that are jobs that have been posted up when clients are looking for someone. So we have a job specifically in Beijing. This one currently is in Niger, Senegal, and a few other places. Essentially what happens is clients can come to us and they can either A, work directly through us as a production agency, and then we, one second. Okay. So members can go ahead and approach us directly, and then we will go ahead and work as a production agency using the platform to be able to find and hire the right people. This allows us to, one, provide insurance for the freelancer who's working on the project, two, guarantee that you're going to be paid for that specific project, and three, simplify process for the clients. The clients specifically are looking for ease on the payment process. They don't have to worry about onboarding payment constantly. They're looking for a centralized location where they can have one specific invoice for all the freelancers they work with. They want access to everyone who's in the database in the system, and they want to also, one second, they also want to be able to quickly find in, one second. So clients want to be able to have a simple way for onboarding for payments, a single invoice, a single spot centralized where they're able to find all the projects they're working in by different departments, and they want to have access and resource to everyone here, as well as they want to be compliant with insurance. So one, we are requiring everyone as we're moving forward to pay through HackPack, and to do that, we're one, offering our services as a production agency where we ourselves manage that process and we resolve it. Or two, we're offering a subscription model where we ourselves vet and verify the client, clarify for them exactly their needs, the process, and ensure that they fully 100% know how to use the platform, as well as that they will look after the well-being of the members, and that we're able to then, in that process, charge the client a transaction fee to be able to allow them to use the platform to hire, send out requests, send out alerts for free, be able to use it as a centralized tool to be able to see everyone they've worked with and the process for that. In which case, the freelancers that they hire receive insurance. We conduct the entire onboarding process for payment materials, and then they have access to the entire resource. As a client, they also, besides being able to create a post, they're also able to go to the search and simply find someone specifically they're looking for. So we'll go back to that process. I was looking for a fixer or a journalist in Madrid. And then you're able to see all the different members currently there. You're able to check out a profile and review that. If they have references, you can see that. Or you can go directly to their details, see a general description about them, examples of work. You can go ahead and see and click on a specific link. Other locations, languages, personal links they may have. If they have video links as well, you can see items like that. This helps the client be able to evaluate them. They can then go ahead and send the message to that specific member, engage in conversation, see if the project works for them, and clarify all the details. In that format, if a client's a subscription client with us, they're able to then have the freelancer go ahead and go back to freelancer and be able to send an invoice. So we realized and we learned throughout the process that clients want to either in advance have the project created already, but a lot of editors and producers don't have time, and so they'll simply go out, find someone, identify them, and after the project's clarified, evolves throughout the week as they talk it over, they'll want a specific invoice from the freelancer. So at that point, the freelancers themselves are able to create a invoice in the reverse process of creating a project. So you simply give a description of the project. 1 second. So when the freelancer sends an invoice, it can simply create a description of the project, what exactly it was, let's say fixing, how much it was for, let's say 250 USD, and then they give the general details. Most clients need to confirm that this is most important for them, that they need a street address as well as a specific location for the city. I'm not going to give my street address as much as I like all of you. And then also the ability to have additional information for their budgeting purposes and needs. This allows them to be able to split things up between departments or in any other format that they prefer. Then you simply select the client that it's going to. So it's, in this case, say it goes to me. And then you're able to add any contracts, NDAs, or expenses to that. When you do, you go ahead and you can add some files. This one. You get a separate line item to be able to add that specific into. Say you had $10 for, let's say $20 for a taxi. You had to drive somewhere, automatically adds into it. And then HackPack only adds a 12% on to the client. The client was clear exactly how much money that they have a budget for, and you have to fit underneath that. You can start from that portion and it breaks it on down. But then we don't put the charge on top of your 20. We put it on top of, we don't put a charge on your expenses, only on the total amount for the project itself. Then you're able to publish that and send it to the client. They can respond and confirm you for that. I'm not going to do that right now. So to go over, as a freelancer, you are able to go ahead and check out different projects that are going on, review them, see what's interesting. You can go to it and read and review the entire post. You can go ahead and message the person about it, tell them that you're interested, ask for more details yourself, and then have an interaction conversation with them. If they like you, they'll go ahead and confirm you for the specific project. If they like you, they'll confirm you for the specific project, and then if the client likes you, they'll confirm you for the specific project, and then you'll be able to get on your way. So as I mentioned, the main aspects that we're changing HackPack, besides color and design, which is nice, obviously, we've made it 100% working on mobile version, which saves you all a ton of life, time, and energy. We've gone ahead and simplified the feed, so it's simply every general post versus find opportunities. We've given you the ability to go ahead and simply make a post that goes out either to your connections or to a larger audience on HackPack, which you yourself can filter and focus it on. You're able to then also evaluate jobs, or you can go ahead and apply to them. At that point, you can simply either send an invoice, or within the process of doing the project, you will have the opportunity to confirm that you've sent in the work and the invoice at that time. After every project, you and the client are requested to evaluate each other, to give a reference and help each other expand the opportunity to work with each other in the future. I find this to be very important, that we give both the freelancer and the client the ability to evaluate each other, because from the freelancer side, they need to know if they feel that it's worthwhile working with that client in the future. And from the client side, they need to evaluate how subjectively qualified is that specific freelancer. If you have not gone ahead already, if you're not currently doing a project and you've done projects previously, you can also simply request a reference and send out a requested reference from here, where you fill out a project post-fact and request the reference from the client. This will then show up as a work reference on your profile, as well as the client will then be able to receive a notification, and they'll be able to provide you a reference. They can either be existing on the platform or non-existing on the platform in that manner. Yeah. So that's overall the main features. The policies that we're really changing now. Let me go and shut that portion off. I'll talk to you directly. So the main policies that we're changing now is that, one, clients have to pay through the system if they're going to be hiring someone. And the way we're managing that is, one, by working as a production agency to be the middle person in between to ensure that there are no issues one way or the other. However, we don't want to do that. We want to be able to drop costs down and provide you more money for the and less cost to the client within the process. And therefore, we're providing them a subscription version to directly have access. In that version, they interact with us directly. We explain the entire process to them, and then we provide them the additional benefit of having insurance for every single project, for being able to have a centralized location where they do payments through the platform, and they don't have to have you onboarding into their system, and they can have a single invoice within that process. And then finally, they get access to the entire community to be able to hire out more and more people throughout time. If clients end up trying to break through that specific process, we reserve the right and will basically remove them from the platform itself and ban them if we find out they are doing that. However, I strongly believe that we are providing plenty of benefit for them to be able to actually be able to have it much more value from using that system than from trying to skirt its way around it. So if they try to walk around our policies for 12%, which also shrinks down based upon the scale of projects they're doing, then they're going to also try to do the same to you if they're being cheap to us. So those are the main changes there. There is no cost for the freelancer. We still retain our general payment policy where we cover transfer fees. We still make payments to you how you prefer and how you find it easiest, and that way you don't have to deal with a large organization and their bureaucratic ways. And yeah, I think that's the major aspects I wanted to kind of talk about and let you all know. At this point, I can go ahead and open up for general questions that you may have, either about the new platform, our general policies, or benefits that it provides. If anyone has anything.
Well, I have one question, if you allow.
Please.
As far as I'm concerned, you started white labeling already the product, right? I mean, the portal for different aspects, for different areas of business. Can you, in a couple of words, elaborate how you succeeded in that, where you are at? I'm not asking about the details. I can see that it can be confidential somehow, but is this new product already, I mean, the new portal for the different area of business already implemented, and is it working as well as HackPack does?
Yeah, so basically what we've done also while when we created an entire new HackPack, we realized that there are many different industries around the world that would benefit from a similar platform that wouldn't compete with the journalism space, the media professional area that we've been working in specifically. And so as we developed it, we ensured that we set it up so that there's a specific color code, so that it's very simple to change the overall branding of the site, simple to change the designs of the logos, and generally change all the text and information where it may need to be changed throughout it. We also heard that this was a request that some clients may have to be able to use it as a way to manage their own freelancers, so we want to ensure that that was possible as well. So it's basically how would it overall work? Essentially, another company, let's say of carpenters, they could simply take it. We'd be able to slap on different colors and branding and logos for them very quickly and easily. We would need them to identify specifically the types of text that they would want on for their users to be able to evaluate how good a carpenter is or how bad a carpenter is, and then know whether or not they want to work with them in that sense. However, and that's pretty much all that they would need to do is identify what type of information is necessary to evaluate a freelancer in their specific industry, share that with us, share us with the specific text, the specific types of colors they want on, and then it's able to be switched out and put on a different server for them, so that way they can have their own members using it in their own way and how they would prefer to be doing that. So it's very simple to make that happen and fairly quickly in the way that we've sent it up. And we've already done it for 2 other organizations in the film industry, more for large large movie productions. And so it's worked fairly easily for them, and we've gotten through any hiccups and bumps on that. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
No
Thank
problem.
you for elaboration and interesting insights.
Any other questions specifically on HackPack? How we're... Yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt
No
you.
problem.
Yeah, I do have one question.
Please.
I was wondering, is there going to be, or is there already in place any system to categorize? I'm not going to say the best, but let's say that I work for one company that didn't behave in the best way, and I want to rank them so that other people know, or I want to leave a comment. And also vice versa. I hire a freelancer, and something happens, and I'm really not happy. So is there any way that we're going to have something like that we can either leave comments or like star ranking, like Uber drivers?
Absolutely. So basically what we have is after a project is completed, similar with Airbnb. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So after you've already worked on a project, you're similar as Airbnb, you're both sent requests to go ahead and leave references for each other. Within that, you're able to do exactly as you're saying. Another way to do that is simply you're able to find someone that you previously worked with. Let's say I'm going to look for, I don't know, let's say you look for a journalist in Madrid. And you're able to then find someone that you previously worked with, let's say Jean Jerome, you're able to then go ahead and directly create a reference on their specific profile. Within that, you leave a subjective reference that will be visible for everyone. So this could be either they were amazing to work with. Obviously, you want to add as much detail as possible so people can actually understand if they're organized, if they made your life easy. And then you also have a numerical rating below. The numerical rating is not visible to anyone. It is simply a way for us to then be able to in a kind of subjective manner, also evaluate their position on the search. So members with a higher average rating will appear higher up in the search than other ones who have a lower rating. This way, you're able to see and evaluate that someone is actually of the few who appear on top are the most professional and the ones who have been a larger pleasure to work with on a project. If you're creating it, you can then go ahead and indicate specifically what the project was, what their company was, what exactly you did, and the link to it, and then it'll also be saved as a reference on theirs as well as a work history in your past. And that way, you're able to share what you've learned about this person. If it's a client, and let's say they weren't organized, they rushed, they had paid extremely late, they kept coming up with excuses, they were just an angry person. Obviously, these are things that someone wants to know about. Or if you're a client, you want to know about the quality of the work that was actually performed. You want to know whether or not someone was a pleasure to work with, their communication style, how quickly they responded back to things. And this is a way for, after a project, each member to go ahead and evaluate each other, give a little bit more subjective information for someone to read and evaluate, as well as a way for us to help encourage the more professional members to appear higher in the search and be able to receive more opportunities.
Justin,
Hi.
this is Mircea from Bucharest, Romania. Thanks so much for your presentation. It was truly useful, and congrats for the launch. I was just playing with my profile here, trying to fill out as many gaps as I could. At the moment, I can't add any video links to my
Okay.
profile. It might just be me,
Let me check.
or it might just be something like a small bug with the platform. Could you
Yeah,
check that?
absolutely. I can even check it now if you want.
Thank you.
No problem. So let's verify this. So usually if you're going to add a video link, you need to add a link that specifically goes to a specific video file. You can't add, let's say, your entire, actually let's go to this one. So basically you need to add either a Vimeo or a YouTube link. You shouldn't add a link that goes to your entire work that you've ever done. It needs to have a specific video that shows up on it. That might be the issue that you're dealing with, Marcel.
It might be. I was just trying to add videos from Radio Free Europe because
Okay.
it's like a famous
So if you have, so so essentially down here is a really nice, pretty spot where you can add specific video links to videos that are on YouTube or Vimeo, and they'll show up as a pretty little image like this, and people can see it. If you're a photographer, you can add images. If you have a reel of works that you've done, you can go ahead and go to personal links and add a reel. Let's say your personal reel.com, and you can add it there, and then you can add multiple different types of personal links. Or you can add a specific example of work by clicking this little green button, and then you can add the specific work it was with. So if it's Radio Free Europe, you can write Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, whatever, and you can put the link down here, and they'll be able to go through that if it doesn't go down below. And I think that may be the issue, is that basically we can only identify that it's a video thumbnail to show if it's from a YouTube or Vimeo account, whereas Radio Free Europe may have a text one, in which case we can't play a video directly from that. Someone else had a question you wrote. Yeah, so Amy, I think probably the issue, Amy, I think the same issue maybe for you is if it's not a YouTube or Vimeo link directly in the video links section, that may be the issue. So I'll change the text on this to state Vimeo/YouTube links to clarify that for people. But as I mentioned, you can add directly into your personal links a specific spot for that right now. I think I also noticed, and also when you find someone that you may be interested in or want to work with, You can also, like Sir Marcel, you can directly connect with them, and then they receive requests to be connected with you, and you can interact. They see the posts that you create in the future and things like that. So yeah, you can go and check out Marcel's. Great information, 10 projects, looking amazing. Look at all that great stuff. So basically our goal is, no, they do show up, see?
Yeah, I just did. I just quickly added that
Okay.
to the YouTube channel for Radio 3.
Oh, okay, it's from YouTube. Gotcha. Yeah. That must be the issue. So yeah, so basically, and then what we're going to add in the near future is the ability for you to also be able to take these 3 sections, the about, professional details, video links, and images, and you can change their position. So that way, if you're a photographer, you can go ahead and put images on the top. If you're a videographer, camera operator, you can put that on the top. Or if you're more of a text focused, you can keep your example of work on the top, depending on your preference and what you think is best to express you and your skills to clients. Additional questions? If not,
Will there be a mobile app in the future?
there is not foreseen to be a mobile app in the near future, unfortunately. Largely just because HackPack is created and funded by me, and therefore my financial means are limited to a certain amount. Here, let me show you. We have set it up to be mobile browser friendly, very friendly. Let me actually hide this so you don't deal with all my stuff. So essentially now you have the ability to simply use it from the messenger version to creating posts to being able to talk and connect with people. And using the search, it's all mobile friendly, which saves everyone a lot of time and effort. Even these posts are happily mobile friendly. So you'll see someone's profile, check out their details, and makes it much, much easier to work with. We've gotten around one of the issues that we have. Well, the main benefit of being having a mobile app is that it would enable then users to receive alerts, especially when there's quick and urgent jobs. One way that we got around that is by giving you the ability to add your phone. And when you add your phone, you currently receive an SMS alert. We have this set up also for WhatsApp, but we haven't released it yet. So this way you can choose whether or not to receive alerts via your phone, or if it's cheaper or more desirable, you can receive alerts via WhatsApp. And then if there's a job that's sent out, it's urgent request, then you're able to learn about it immediately and be able to apply as soon as you see it. But currently there's no mobile app expected in the next 1.5 to 2 years. But who knows? After that, it may exist. I'll keep you informed. Other questions?
I have a question.
Please, Elizabeth.
Is it me?
Yes, please.
Sorry if you stayed ready, but I had to join the call a little bit later. I understood that there are no fees to join the platform, but are there any other fees throughout the process, like when the job is completed, for example?
Absolutely. So we are very, very strong supporters of not charging freelancers. We do not believe freelancers are in the economic position to be able to pay those fees, nor is it really a smart move if you want to create a community that supports and helps develop freelancing around the world. So it is free for freelancers to join. It is free for NGOs to join. It is free to create a post in the feed and be able to focus it on specific members. So like when you're creating a post, you can say that there is an event. So you can say event or promote yourself. You can go ahead and add links here, and they create thumbnails. You can add a document or an image, and then you're able to send it to either just your connections, so that way your connections will see it, like with any social media, or you can also expand it beyond to different members on HackPack. So if you're having, let's say, an online virtual event, you can expand it to English speakers who are, I guess, online, so it doesn't matter. Let's say focusing on photographers to English-speaking photographers, and you see that it'll be shown in 1,477 profiles in their feeds, and you can go ahead and publish it that way. That's all free. The only costs are if you want to have additional promotion through this post itself, which means that you want to send out an SMS alert to members so it goes directly to phones and emails, or if you want to have it paid promotion in the newsletter that gets sent out every week to our members, that costs for specifically that type of promotion. If you work on a job, so the way that we earn money, and I showed this a little earlier, is that currently we work as a production agency where clients come to us, we use the platform ourselves, and we get you hired, and we resolve everything, and we use the platform as if they would. If they have enough requests and they actually want to be using the platform themselves, we've set it up so that they can go ahead and subscribe. So a client would pay a subscription to have access to the pool of 14,000 members in 170 countries. They would have ability to send free alerts throughout the system, and the ability to then have a centralized place to be able to pay and hire those members. In which case we, thanks to ACOS's amazing work to organize insurance, we're able to go ahead and provide insurance for when those subscribed clients hire through the platform. What we do is we charge the client a fee on top of the project that they work on. It starts at a 12% fee, and then it works its way down depending on scale. So if the client is doing $10,000 worth of projects a month, it's obviously much less than 12%. But if they just come once and they want to do one project, it works like that. Within that, freelancers can either apply to a project, or if a client finds them, the freelancer can send an invoice this way. We have provided the flexibility so that if a client says, I'm only paying, let's say, $300, no more than that for all fees, and if that's the client's message to the freelancer and they've agreed on that portion, then the freelancer can in the bottom go ahead and indicate first 300, in which case the percent is actually taken from the freelancer. We don't encourage that, but we understand that some clients have specific budgetary aspects where they said this is how much it is, and then whatever in between is what it works out to be. And so that way it's a clear discussion between the client and the freelancer on the price. Ideally, you can go ahead and have it set up where you have a clear amount of how much you're going to earn, say 250, in which case it's added on to that, and then the client is charged the 12%.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. Another aspect I forgot to mention, which I think is important as well, is that on your profiles, we've also added additional features under Add New Category, where you're able to indicate HEFAT training if you've received HEFAT training. You're able to indicate equipment, such as if you have video equipment or security equipment, such as a Kevlar vest. And you're also able to indicate a kill fee. So if the client goes ahead and cancels a project beyond a certain period of time, how much they have to pay for that. And that's included within the contract that it's sent out automatically when you work on a project. And that way the client knows, and it's very clear and transparent to them what happens if they close the project early, as well as you know yourself what you should be expecting if they decide to quit the project the day before or like one day into it.
Sorry, Justin, where's the HEFAT training tab and all that stuff?
So, yeah, if you click Add New Category on the right, you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, you click on that, and then there's HEFAT training. You click on it, and then you can go ahead and select some options. Oh,
Awesome.
I think I did, yeah.
A lot of people ask for that, especially when you're sent on assignment in conflict zone.
Yeah, and it's important to have it. So it's set up so you can go ahead and indicate specifically the type of HEFAT training as well as date. Let me do a look at it because it looks like a lot of them were all included in the same one, so they need to be separated from each other. But yeah, you can go ahead and add that. Equipment as well, I found was important, where you can either add your video or filming or photo equipment, but also things like Kevlar, let's say a vest, like bulletproof vest or vest and helmet, and things like that.
Awesome, thank you.
No problem. Additional questions?